Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the latest edition of the Jake Stick with Jacob Elyachar Podcast. I'm your host, Jacob Elyachar, the chief content producer and writer of JakeStick.com, a pop culture entertainment news website. If you're listening to this version on audio, please give us a 5-star rating. Please download, please subscribe. There are no words to describe how excited I am to welcome these guests to my podcast. They are one of CMT's Next Women in Country. You may have seen him on a little show called America's Got Talent on season 17, where they were made it to the top 5. Should have been either one or in the runner-up or in the final 3, by my humble opinion. And they were also the second act in show history and the main show to receive the group Golden Buzzer. And they have an upcoming tour, the Glory Days tour. So please help me welcome Danica, Devynn, and Trea, the Chapel Hart, to the podcast.
Hello. How are y'all doing?
Ladies, it's such an honor and privilege to finally meet you. I've been rooting for you guys for AGT for a longest time.
Oh my!
Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure whenever we run into people and they were like, we were with y'all from the first performance.
Yes. I think them folks, probably Chapel Hart fans, voted so much they about broke those folks' machines. And so we just want to say for and all the folks who are always like, we voted for y'all and we had our family voting. We are so glad now we get to put faces to the ballots and tell you guys thank you so much.
All right, so before we get off to the AGT journey, we got to talk about the origin story. So can you please share the origin story to my audience?
Well, on a dark and stormy night. No. Well, we were singing in New Orleans, just the two of us, and we were like, we need a little cherry on top. And so this is Tree, by the way. And so Danica and I started singing in New Orleans, and you know, 2 voices is great, but you can't really be 3-part harmony. So we decided to kidnap her little sister and bring Devynn on board.
AKA the cherry on top.
Oh, well, I guess I did say it.
I walked right into them, and now we have to live with it. Thanks a lot.
I only want to be referred to as the cherry on top from here on out. Thank you.
But and so we started our music career down in New Orleans, singing, you know, up and down Bourbon Street, Frenchman Street, and we branched out and, you know, started doing circles in the Southeast, and then finally took it as far as we could. And I guess
we took it all the way to Innsbruck, Austria.
Oh, yes, we did.
Yeah.
Wow.
They have a New Orleans. They're like a sister city with New Orleans, and so they have a big, huge New Orleans festival every year with thousands of people come out. And one year we got an email that they were like, "We would love for y'all to headline," and we're like, "Are you sure? Okay, because once we book these places."
It's also a jazz festival, right?
Yeah. So
jazz and blues.
And that year they'd never had country music, and they'd never in 21 years they'd never had country music. They'd never had females to headline. So it was an incredible experience. They spoiled us so good we almost didn't make it back.
I was about to turn into a schnitzel.
Yes.
Oh God.
Yes.
Oh God. That's amazing. That's amazing. However, as you guys were working, CMT took notice and named Chapel Hart part of one of its Next Women in Country Music, which group includes. So what did it mean to be part of this group, whose alums include Ashley McBryde, Gabby Barrett, and Kelsey Ballerini?
I remember kind of when Next Women of Country first started, and I would watch as some of the artists, like any other, like of the other women artists who were bigger or having more success on country music radio. And it was kind of like as social media was picking up. So just say, for instance, like a Carrie Underwood, if Carrie was doing great in radio and like the rest of the women were just kind of barely hanging on there, maybe Carrie would go to her social media and say, "Hey, look, this is Ashley McBryde. Go stream her music. She's amazing. I'm number 1 on radio this week, but we need some more women with me." And I just watched that platform pull up and support women supporting each other, which, sometimes is a hard thing, because I think also the minute that you say it's a male dominated genre, women barely get in. So even sometimes us women were like, no, there's only so many spots. Like, watch back, I'm going. And so, but Next Women of Country, we were so honored when they called us, and our hearts just were like, ah, because we were so honored to be a part of this sisterhood, is what it really is. And we were part of it during the COVID year, so it was a little different trying to kind of navigate. But we did Zoom meetings and all the what do you call the performances when they would Zoom them?
Virtual
Performances. So we had to figure it out, but and literally one of the greatest honors.
And then it was even better, the next year whenever we got to meet a lot of the ladies in person, like, oh, you have legs. This is amazing.
All we did was compliment each other's legs and shoes.
That's amazing. And I gotta say, you go from one of the biggest country music platforms to probably one of the biggest platforms in television, which is America's Got Talent. So why was 2022 the year you wanted to audition for AGT?
Honestly, it's crazy how the whole AGT thing came about to begin with, because we had plans to go out on the road with the Indigo Girls. And then we got an email from, I don't even remember, somebody sent us an email saying like,
there was a fan of ours, and she was like, y'all should audition for America's Got Talent. And we were like, we've never, it was never even a thought in our brain, okay? And so we always say, we're like the last of the Mohicans, because we're like, we're old school in the sense of like, you get in the van, you go state to state, you build your fan base, you go back to the same state, you build your fan base, you go back to the same. And so that's kind of what we were prepared to do. And Lindsay was like, she said, I've heard your music, I love your music, y'all gotta audition, you gotta try out. And really it was just her persistence. And then we were, like Deb said, we were on tour. We were planning to go out with the Indigo Girls. We were going to open for them. And somebody in their camp got COVID. So we were like, well, the time's open. We were already going to be traveling. Why not? And we always kind of conclude that with, thank God we did, right?
Yeah. It's the best decision we almost never made.
I got to say, that decision, unfortunately, that COVID case turned into a blessing, because you performed the original song, You Can Have Him, Jolene, which was an amazing song, by the way. And what was before we get to the Golden Buzzer, because it's probably one of my all-time favorite Golden Buzzers of this era, since I've been covering this since 2012. So what was your reaction when you performed You Can Have Him, Jolene in the Pasadena Civic Center?
Honestly, it was so much fun. Like, we were all so nervous, but like soon as we walked out on stage, the energy from the room alone was just mind-blowing. And it was like you couldn't help but to not be as nervous. We were still pretty nervous, but the cheers from the crowd and the love and the support that you could feel was really comforting to us in that moment. And so it was an amazing feeling.
But the crazy part is we almost didn't do You Can Have Jolene either.
What?
We were gonna do Dolly Parton's 9 to 5, and we had our little dance moves all planned out. And 9 to 5 was good, and we would go back and forth between You Can Have Jolene and 9 to 5, and we were, even with the music directors, we were like, but what if people don't like the original? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, that's a huge gamble. Like, we know 9 to 5, everyone knows 9 to 5, and they can kind of judge it off that. And there was I call it a magic moment. There was a magic moment where they were like, okay, and we had everything wrapped up for 9 to 5. And one of the music directors, she said, let me hear You Can Have Him, Jolene, one more time. She said, and I want y'all to go full out like you're on stage one more time. We did that run, and at the end of that run, the room got quiet. And it was like, then we all, like, we knew we had to do that song. And we kind of had a little huddle group, and we were like, it's time for us to take a chance on ourselves. And if people hate it and they don't get it, that's okay. But if we have to walk away and we get no yeses, or we get no's or whatever, we did it on our terms. And now, you know what I'm saying? And then we go back with the information that, and so.
But here's the thing. You guys ruled the audience was on your side completely, and I was as well. And not to mention the fact that Simon admitted that he said, "I wish I had a golden buzzer." Then Heidi wished that she didn't use her golden buzzer, and then having the audience scream "golden buzzer, golden buzzer," and then Terry runs out from the stage after a talk with all five, and they Simon countdowns 5, 4, 3, 2, and then starts with Sofia, then Heidi, then Terry, then Simon, then Terry, and finally Howie. And presses down. It's probably one of the most powerful reaction moments I have seen as a journalist. So what was going through your mind when that moment happened?
Well, first of all, we were so confused. We didn't know that the group Golden Buzzer was even a thing. And so we were just hoping to at least get 3 yeses, because we had known that like all of the Golden Buzzers were already gone. And so we were standing there and no one said yes. They didn't say no, but no one said yes.
But in the moment, you kind of, if you look at us on stage, like, and people are like, "Oh my God, did y'all get a chance to like, is that stage?" It's not stage, and you'll look at us and be like, "Wait, what?" And Trea she kind of leans over, because in TV, like, the most, sentimental moment can happen, and then they'll go, "Okay, look, can we just get a run back of that? Can we do that one more time? Like, can we cry one more time? What do you mean?" So we didn't know if this was like a TV moment. We'd never seen this before. And Trea leans over to me and she says, "Hey, should we walk off? Should we just walk off the stage?" And I was like, "Let's just stand still for a few more minutes. I don't know what's going on. I've never seen this happen." And even as their hands are going up, we're like, "What is going on?" But as there is a moment I feel like it happened fast, but it happened so slow, even in real life. And as everybody's hands are going down, we're like, did they all just agree together to like make a golden buzzer together? And my heart started crying before it made it to my face. Definitely one of the most beautiful moments in my life and my lifetime. And it was the moment, I think, that gave us courage that the power belongs to the people, because there were no golden buzzers to give away, and the people were like, we ain't leaving till y'all give them one. And two is that, it was that moment for us that dreams really do come true. It's something that we've been working so hard for, and we've just been wanted to get our music out. And one of the things that they were really pushing, that we were performers, but the one thing that we wanted to be there for, we want to be there for songwriting. We want to show people that, like, we've got these experiences, and we grew up in Mississippi and kind of moved to Louisiana and all these things, and we want to take our southernness and we want to share our songs with the world. And so we were like, more than anything, it was the validation that, like, we're great songwriters, and all the, and that for us to keep believing in ourselves and keep writing, because people got it.
And especially after hearing for years, when we go back and forth to Nashville, that, well, it's pretty good, but we don't know if it'll sell, or we don't know, but
you should write with this person, or you should write with that person. And it made us feel like, okay, well, maybe we're pretty good, but if we're writing with this person or that person, we could be better. When
all she had to do is write with this person and that person.
All I gotta say is, it's minus, in addition to the golden buzzer, it goes viral on Twitter. Dolly herself gives her signature approval. Then one by one, all these major people from the country start coming on Twitter and giving you some big reactions. So what did that mean to you?
I think it, kind of going back to what Danica said, it gave more of that validation feeling, because when you have people like Loretta Lynn, Tanya Tucker, Dolly Parton reaching out and commending you on your songwriting and everything like that, it's just like, what life are we living right now?
And even crazier is like the people who actually reached out. It's the women who made country music what it is. I mean,
we, grew up listening
to, like, the pillars of country music are the ones reaching out saying, "We see you, we appreciate you, we want you to redo one of our songs." Like, that's
like
mind blowing.
And Loretta is like one of our favorite songwriters, because a lot like Chapel Hart, like we're like, look, you can just have Jolene. You know what I mean? Like a lot like how we would say it is exactly how Loretta writes. And so she, she's like, look, you can mess my man if you want to. I'm gonna take you to Fifth City. So you know what I mean? Like she didn't have no filters about it. That's a lot. It's super. It's the way that we write. So for her to say, I like what y'all did with Dolly's song. Y'all need to do something with one of mine. And we were like, ah. And so we just, it breaks our heart that she didn't get a chance to, like, she wasn't here to hear it. But we actually did write, we redid her song, Fifth City, and we wrote Welcome to Fifth City, so we were like, you can't really flip a Loretta song. So what we did is like, we wrote like an extension. So the story kind of continues where she didn't listen to Loretta, she did not heed her word, and now welcome to Fifth City. So we are the elected city officials. So
all right, but however, I gotta say, you guys returned with a vengeance in semifinals, but the girls are back in town. One of my favorite songs of 2022. So, what did that mean to perform Girls Back in Town after having all that backing?
I feel like the Girls Are Back in Town was kind of like our anthem because, like, after being told no so many times, being, in a male-dominated industry, and just letting them know that the girls are here and we're not going anywhere.
And it was such a risk. It was such a risk to do the Girls Are Back in Town after doing You Can Have Him, Jolene, because I think that a lot of times, anytime that you do something that kind of shakes the tree a little bit, people are like, oh, no, don't you speak up, don't you speak out. And we wanted also to give that confidence to women who maybe look at being in the country music industry and go, look, I'll never make it, I'll never get there. And so your confidence, coach.
Say that?
And tell them, our internet is unstable, but as long as you can hear us, that's good.
I can hear you guys fine.
Okay, good. And so, sometimes you need that boost and put on your confidence coat and, keep strutting. And that's what and more than anything, I think that we wanted our experience on AGT to, we want our performance and for people to walk away and feel something. And so that was our goal of being a part of the AGT experience.
I gotta say, before you left the AGT experience, you did two more things. I gotta say, I just rewatched American Pride. It was fabulous. And then also performing with Darius. We got to talk about performing with Darius as well.
Yes. American Pride, honey. Listen, that whole day was just full of so many emotional.
It was an emotional day.
It was a very emotional day. So the day of the finale, they had like this little virtual box, and our uncle, he's retired military, and he literally just will pop up at any one of our shows without warning, and always comes to support us.
He told us he would be at the final, and then in the box, he said, "Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead."
Go ahead.
So he told us he would be at the box. No, he said I'll be at the finale, and then he wasn't at the finale, and we were okay because he always comes to like random stuff anyway. And so so he was in the box to tell us that he wasn't going to be there, and as we're like, oh, that's so sweet. He left us a message. He comes walking from behind the box. We're like, oh God, we love you. And then they made us go back and sit down in front of the box, and Tanya Tucker sent us a message. It was just an emotional day. And then right before we're going on stage, we look up, and they didn't tell us you shouldn't watch the video until after our performance, but they were like, you never watch the pre-video before. It gets you every time. And so we watched, and we could see like little baby Dev and baby Danica and baby Trea on the wall. And it's like, man, if they could be here, if they knew what the end of the story looked like, or that they knew if you just hang in there, like great things are going to happen. And so we just like, literally the music starts, boom, 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 boom. And I'm like, And I was like, the stage makeup was incredible because it doesn't look like our makeup is like running. It looks like, but we are boo-hooing during this performance. And I was like, oh God, we're not.
But here's the thing, you guys, this is what I think made you so great is you showcase your emotion. For example, and here's the thing, you guys sounded great with that performance. And despite all the emotions, and like next time, you should wait until watching when it airs in Los Angeles.
Yes, 100%. Look, and it was so funny. As soon as we got off stage, and they were we were like, I was like, but I saw the video, and one of our music directors was like, you aren't supposed to watch the video. I was like, well, nobody told us that. This is the first time I'm hearing about don't watch this video. And so, but what's crazy is it turned out to be one of Simon Cowell's favorite songs. And he, to this day, is like, I have an idea. He was like, I'll let y'all know as soon as I can make it finish in my brain. He was like, but there's something I want to do with it. He said, because this is a song that the world needs to hear. He said, and of course, his American pride. He was like, but when I hear it, I don't hear only for Americans. He said, I can hear that this is a song about unity and, and coming together. And he was like, and so anyway, Simon ended up being over the moon about the song. And, yeah.
It took it out of us. It really did. And like to this day, we'll do it in shows, and it just takes everything. Now we've gotten better at not crying during songs, but as soon as it's over, the waterworks just.
We tell people this is our redemption show, and what it is you get to actually hear what the song sounds like live.
And not to mention, one final thing was, in addition to Tanya, but however, you get to see this guy in person, Darius Rucker.
Yes. Darius Rucker is so sweet. And I think by nature, you can just tell he's a quiet person, but like he gets with us and it is, we are a hoot. We do. Look, we just keep him on his toes and he's just like, he's so, literally the kindest person you will ever meet. Okay.
With the most infectious
laugh. I was like, I want to keep a feather around just to tickle him to get that like laugh that he does. It is so hilarious. And I tell Darius, I was like, you loved us so. I said you loved us so much you couldn't get enough of us. So we've got us. We're gonna be doing Old Church Hymn, the song we did, our single that we did with him. It's gonna come out. It's called a show called The Song, and we're gonna be on that with him in January. I'm not sure when it comes out, but y'all stay tuned.
Absolutely. And speaking of stay tuned, we got to talk about the tour, the Glory Days tour. So what can your fans expect from these set of shows?
Listen. If you are in need, sometimes the people around you love you, but you need that, you need a boost of love. You're going to want to come get your tickets to the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's like when you're really tired and you need a Red Bull, come to the show.
Or you need that energy boost.
Or when you've been feeling really down, it's like loosening those shoestrings around your heart, and it's just like, tone boost. Yes.
It's like whenever you've been down, you've been stuck in the rut. Like if you're a writer and you got writer's block, and you need a little inspiration, get your tickets to the Glory Days show because.
And just laughed and just had a good time and met some new friends.
Get your tickets to the Glory Days show. Look, we keep telling people it's about to be a love fest. Do you hear me? And we cannot wait to meet all of our fans, all of our new fans from AGT. We cannot wait to meet y'all. And we've got meet and greets it's a separate, it's a VIP package. And we're looking forward to really getting up close and personal with all the fans and the people who, even the folks who are like, let me go see. I don't trust it. Come on, because one thing about it, we're going to hug you too. And you're going to be a believer right after that.
Awesome. So before we start winding down our conversation, we got to talk about music. So is there any music coming in 2023?
Listen, we are working so hard. And actually, I don't even think initially that we didn't have an album title. We had just a cluster of songs that we just had sitting. But we did like a pre-tour to try out like traveling and the band and the music and all the things in December. And this month, early December. And when I say we have never collectively come to a faster agreement that we need to get the Glory Days album done and out, we don't agree on nothing. Y'all let us see us decide where we're going to lunch. Disaster. But the one thing we agreed on was like, we must do album 3. And the people are always like, we need more music, more music, more music. Well, 2023, here it comes, because we are working on the Glory Days album.
Wonderful. I cannot wait to download it. It will probably be on Jake's Take New Music Reviews once it's out. So awesome. So one of the second last questions I have is this. As you know, season 18 is upon us, and some lucky people are going to be getting these phone calls. So to perform in front of the judges. So if you had the opportunity to meet with the acts who are going to perform in front of the live audience and the judges, so what advice would you share with them?
I would say trust you. Taking in the process, because it's gonna fly by quick. But it is such an amazing experience, and we learned so much from the whole AGT experience. So like I said, I would just tell them to take all the moments in and enjoy every second of the ride, because it's going to go by fast, but enjoy it.
Yeah, and I would tell them to just be yourself. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're from. Be as authentically you as you possibly can, and people will see it and they'll appreciate it, because Danica always says there's 8 billion people in the world and there's literally only one you. And you shouldn't have to try to fit yourself into a box because you think this is what they're looking for. If you just be yourself, you will be surprised how many people really love you.
And I guess if I could just add the cherry on top, I think that but I would just say, remember that people are watching, and that just put your heart and soul into it, because you never know who you might inspire. We have gotten so many messages from people around the world who said, look, I was going through cancer. I was at the chemo center, and your episode came on, and I just cried, and I felt inspired. I felt, I could feel the love. And so you just never know who's watching. And so, I always tell people, if you're going to live out loud, and, leave it all on the table. But, try and let people into your life a little bit, that, you can show them that, look, if I can do it, you can do it.
Awesome, guys. So we got it. So final question. Where can they find you guys on social media, and where can they find you on music?
Okay, guys. So for social medias, you can find us everywhere at Chapel Hart Band. Music, we're on Apple Music, Spotify, Google Music, YouTube. We got a lot. Yeah, Google Play. I said Google Music. Google Play.
YouTube Music.
And we have a lot of really cool videos on YouTube. If you ever need a good laugh, go over to our videos.
I was thinking, well, maybe not a good laugh, but if you need to lighten your spirit, you need a little joy, we have some hilarious music videos that just absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful, ladies. It was such an honor to talk with you. Thank you so much. I can not wait to see what you guys do next. I really appreciate you guys taking time in your schedule to talk with me today. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. You got to promise us one thing, though.
Yeah?
That you'll have us back and we'll chat again.
Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. We got to do that. Thank you guys so much for listening. Until next time, have a great one, everybody. Goodbye.